Yeah, welcome back. I'm doing the Tartarus mission now. Labyrinth, everything.
The captain did right by us once. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat.
Error. Error. This unit is not experiencing errors. Error. This unit is functioning correctly. There is no need for the intervention.
Heads up, boss! Let's go, Captain, quick! A nice one, Captain! Careful, we're wounded!
Okay, try that again then.
Taste of freedom!
Yeah, thing is though, I've done those two side missions I couldn't do before. Yeah, because there was just a dot on the floor, basically. You've got to, on that one where you've got to find what happens to the guy. You've got to get the ticket for the go up and check his bags. All his clothes have been muddled into bags. It's like a man bag on by the door, yeah. Then you can go to the betting shop, then you go to the guys and talk to them.
The captain did right by us once. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat.
We make quite a team, my friend.
Oh, flipping heck. Can't even see who's shooting me, see, because the Mardets are there as well. Sorry about dying, like, but the Mardets are shooting me as well, I think.
anger a man of the cloth. Gotta get past that armor! Everyone all right?
The captain did right by us once. Now it's our turn. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardats!
Here we go! No break! On your right, Captain.
Oh my god, I wasn't even... Oh, bloody Nora. It could take a while. Oh, but when I rescue the professor, it'll be all over. Hope I haven't lost got him back out. Yeah, if there's just going to be a sequel to this game, The Outer Worlds 2, it'll probably be you coming up from Earth just to investigate what went wrong.
The captain did right by us once. Now it's ours. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardats!
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff. Oh, no. Don't tell anyone, please. Thank you.
Perhaps we should all meditate on that as we make our descent. They say nobody's ever broken out of the labyrinth. And say nothing about breaking in, no.
This is where the fun begins. Whoopee.
Lead the way, boss. I got your back.
Yep. Not surprising, I'm second. Who's this guy? I got gun. I do. One shot, one kill, is it? Oops.
Hold it. No, I meant your uniform. There's something about it. Ah, damn. Lucky you.
Oh, good. A fight. Careful, the woman!
Oh, what the oh, Jesus Christ.
Entering the labyrinth's the easy part. Making it back out. I'm still trusting your plan on that one, Captain.
I don't know why she's helping us now, because we never asked for it.
Lead the way, boss. I got your back.
Nope, dead end. Hang on.
What? Are you new here? I didn't think we were hired. Oh, that's great. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. I'll get out of your way.
Okay, so where do I go from here then? That's stupid. Just saying, before you even land on Tartarus, you need at least a speech of 70. Because then you get the identity thing then. Which lets you have the bar at the bottom of the screen. Intimidate, persuade, or thingy-majiggy. That's 70.
This is like a bad dream I once had. Stay out of sight.
Let's go, troops. Stellar Base counting on us.
Who's that? Oh, what? She's off in as well. I'm confused.
MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight!
Everything in my life has been leading me to this point. I believe I am ready for this.
After all you've done, all the work you've destroyed, all the money you've cost me, your misguided crusade has doomed Halcyon. Idiot! I'm not the one marching to my death in a maximum security prison. In any other circumstance, I'd admire your boldness. In this one, however, I have only 2 words for you. Fuck off.
No, I'm so scared.
How dare you? Even thinking about killing the chairman of the Halcyon board is a felony. Thankfully, you're in a prison already. Find the nearest cell and wait until I'm done here. Then I'll drag you to the executioner myself.
Right, well.
Is that sarcasm? Do you know what I do to people who employ the lowest, most base form of humor? I fire them. Alas, as you are woefully unemployed, I'll have to do the next best thing and have you killed. In the next room is the finest automechanical purveyor of death ever made. Try not to scratch the paint with your skull. It was fucking expensive.
Right. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Inventory. Armor. Boom.
Wow! You that?
Wow.
Nicely done.
Oh, science 100, no good. $71. So next time I'll take power 40. We've got the science thing then. I know if you got the engineering. I said the word science, isn't it? Right.
Never anger a man of the claw.
Shoot that thing in the back. Oh, what was shooting me then? That's... Oh, they must have had... That's annoying. Ah. Sorry about that, guys.
Nicely done. Great work.
Sanitation and cleanup required.
Heads up, jackass! I've had quite enough of you! You want some of this? May you find peace instead. Everyone all right? Sure.
Seems like a sick house.
Why'd it have to be so easy to kill?
Get me out of here!
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress and killed the chairman just to rescue one doddering old man? You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. I know, my friend, I know. And now it's finally over. The board's finished. It's only a matter of time before the entire system slips from their grasp. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated. I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago? And the board's just been covering this up?
They've been incredibly effective at concealing the truth. Right now, the only people in the colony who know are standing in this room.
Earth is only an idea to us. But that idea is the bedrock the colony is built upon. If people were to find out it's gone dark, the shock could be too much to bear.
I don't want to imagine what will happen once news gets out. Let's just keep this between us for now. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds. And then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us? When I revived you, I thought you were going to help me save this colony. I was wrong. I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. I'm just the one who set you on your path.
No.
You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
Well, I'm not an anarchist. I'm just doing my job.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment she landed in Emerald Vale, her actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Without Lulia Hagen, Sublight Salvage fell apart. The company fractured, devolving into a series of unregulated criminal gangs, fences, and smugglers. Their facade of legitimacy quickly faded. In time, the Sublight family was forgotten.
Oops, that was my fault.
Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer. As for Reed Thompson, it was said that he lasted exactly 2 days outside the walls of Edgewater. Years later, a marauder was found in possession of his hat. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time.
Like Ellie's parents.
Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with 2 hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters, and wildcat miners sought her out by name. And in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart.
Good for you.
Miyoko returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail, or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon?
Yep.
Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past, and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you? The unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon. Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Wow. Wasn't expecting that much help though from the other guys. Sanja's people, the Iconoclast people, and Junlei's people all rushing the ship here. quick though, yeah. I'll just let this run through and go on a quick smoke look back. Yeah, I suppose it's why it's an 18. It promotes alcohol and smoking and drinking pigs, eating pig stuff and stuff. Yeah, they're not real pigs. The pigs are made of system stuff. Yep. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. I will probably do a playthrough again to see if I can get any other endings. Because with them two working together, the house, if I'd given one of them the chip from the crash spaceship, they would have been in trouble. I know better than next time than to not kill Lilia then. With sublight, because at least they know what they're doing, sort of. Just means they break down into criminal gangs and they end up being more marauders on the planet and things, eh? A little bit disappointed with Byzantium and the other place being on Terra 2 still, where the Edgewater was. I thought it would have been like another planet or something, yeah. It's like there's like 3 different places on Monarch as well, isn't it? It's sort of like a mixture of sandbox and go anywhere you want type of thing, free roaming. Because you're limited to where it tells you to go at certain levels. Although you can go to Monarch straight away to there. But it's a good idea, yeah. Like level 16 or something. Yeah, so I'll leave it to the credits carry on so I can go and have a little break and a drink and stuff. And be back on in a bit. Much as good as cheers for watching. If it was any good, leave a like.